If you're gonna compare the two movies, The Flash and Blue Beetle, The Flash is the youngest who's had all his pictures put on the refrigerator even though he's a menace, and Blue Beetle is somehow the forgotten middle child that's just hoping somebody will pay attention to them at Thanksgiving dinner. Hey y'all, SnarkyJay cosplay here. It seems like DC put their entire marketing budget into marketing The Flash and really doesn't have much left to give for Blue Beetle, or maybe they just don't even care. But first, here's a word from our sponsors. Summer can get expensive, from ordering new cosplays and convention prep to travel plans and the treat yourself attitude I adopt during my birthday month. I find myself having to tighten my purse strings quite a bit. With Factor, I don't have to worry about food breaking the bank. Factor meals are cheaper than takeout, which means I save money on food every month. With fresh, never frozen meals delivered to my door every week, I avoid those pesky fees and surcharges from food delivery apps. Factor saves me a lot more than just money though. With no prep necessary, I can enjoy a delicious meal in just 2 minutes, and there's no dishes to clean after. With over 34 chef-prepared weekly options, I'm never bored with my lunch choices, and I don't have to worry about feeling guilty because Factor meals come in at around 550 calories each. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code SnarkyJay50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. So Blue Beetle is DC's next big project. As of the time of this video's recording, it's set to be released in a little over a month on August 18th, 2023. However, the marketing effort has really made it so I had to Google when this movie was coming out, because there's really only been like 2 teasers, 1 trailer, and I've seen no YouTube pre-roll ads, no Twitter banners, no constant reminders on social media. I really didn't want to be all doom and gloom about this movie, but I think Blue Beetle has basically just been stepped on. The interesting thing is that some of the tactics are being repeated. Tom Cruise, who raved about The Flash, is also online raving about Blue Beetle, claiming that he saw it earlier and it was amazing and it's life-changing, blah blah blah. Everything he said about The Flash, he's basically saying about Blue Beetle. I just don't really think that I trust his judgment of superhero movies all that much. But this isn't even about whether or not Blue Beetle is gonna be good. It's about whether or not it's even gonna have the chance to show us if it's good or not. I mean, the advertising and the marketing campaign is so lacking that even casual superhero moviegoers don't even know that this movie is happening. If The Flash hadn't had a big marketing campaign, people likely still would have gone to watch it because The Flash is an iconic character. While I'm not saying Blue Beetle isn't great, he's not one of the better known characters. He's not a household name like The Flash, Aquaman, Batman, Superman, and on top of that, they're not really giving this movie a big enough advertising push in order to really start selling tickets ahead of time. But even worse still, the Actors Guild is now going on strike. You've probably already seen that the Writers Guild is currently on strike, and that Hollywood executives kind of don't care and are just waiting for these people to need to pay rent in order to bring them back in and basically rake them over the coals in terms of negotiating. Well, it seems now like that's going to be a lot more difficult because the Screen Actors Guild are also going on strike. But what does this mean for Blue Beetle? Well, when the Screen Actors Guild goes on strike, it means that actors within it can no longer act in anything, but they also can't do any promo for anything either. Which means they cannot do red carpet events, they cannot do premieres, they cannot do interviews, and they cannot do press junkets. So whereas Warner Brothers' other project, Barbie, has had a press junket, interview, red carpet, just a barrage of promotional content that seems now to be ending on account of the strike and the fact that the movie comes out next week, it seems like Blue Beetle won't have the chance for any of that. If the Screen Actors Guild goes on strike, then that means most of the actors within the film are not going to be able to promote it. And that is going to be absolutely detrimental to the success of this film. I don't want to say that DC purposely buried this film, but to me it sort of seems like after the box office flop that was The Flash, after they had done so much to try to promote it, I think that they'd rather just put Blue Beetle out there, see what happens, and instead rely on James Gunn's new reboot in order to bring back DC to a standard that is maybe a little lower than Marvel still. It's sad that a project that looks as cool as it does something that stresses representation and something that has as much love and passion behind it is gonna fail this miserably, but that's just what I see happening with this one. I think the Blue Beetle movie is basically doomed. And that's all from me. I've been SnarkyJay. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on the upcoming Blue Beetle film in the comments below.